Welcome Cancer to your Cancer November 2021 reading and predictions. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, for those of you who are stopping by for the first time, and to the subscribers. It's always so good to see you. I see you as being part of my extended family, you know, and I have such warm feelings towards you, and I appreciate you stopping by and your company. I really look forward to it each month. Now, by the way, I have published, well, at 6 p.m. US Eastern Time on Thursday, the 14th of October, the annual 22 reading will be published for your sign and others. And so if you're a subscriber, of course, it will come to you through your subscription box. And if you're not, just go to the playlist and have a look on my playlist. It's very, very simply set out. It'll have the month's reading, the month before, and the annual readings. That's simple. So you just press annual readings and it takes you into your reading, the highly talented and attractive Cancer. So let's see what there is in store now. Now this deck is called the Golden Circle Tarot. The Golden Circle Tarot. It's by a lady called Beth Martini in Chicago. It's an independent deck. The deck literally arrived at my house yesterday and I haven't used it before, so I'm going to use it with you now. Now that's the Five of something. That looks like it's the Five of Swords, you see? It's Five of Swords. And here is the Five of Wands. So you will, as you can see, I don't know the artwork on it yet, but when I do the reading, I'm sure it's going to speak to me with wonderful things in store for you. So let's see what this might be here. There is the Seven. It's the Chariot. Okay. There you go. Major Arcana number 7. It's always a good card to have for you. There's the Wheel of Fortune. It's also a very good card, I must say. You've got some things happening November, the month of Thanksgiving. And there is the Moon. I might deal with that first. We'll see what happens. So, why don't you come, sit down next to me. We'll have a good close look at the images on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at this central energy here. The Lord of the Power of Waters, the Child of the Triumph of Light, the Chariot. Look at what an interesting thing here. Here are worker bees carrying the child in a walnut shell. No helmet on her head by the looks of it, nothing there. A band of gold and sweet peas growing there. Sweet pea is the royal annual that is grown in the British Isles, well in England anyway, that I recall seeing there, and how very apt a name, the royal annual, that is. Well, the Chariot represents victory through willpower and self-mastery. The celestial chariot moves into your life fast and then rests to help you assimilate all that has taken place. This chariot symbolizes action, change, victory, success, moving in or out of a situation, traveling possibly, certainly refocusing, new perspectives, and possibly some new ideas, some new thoughts. And while this transformation is happening, the future ahead is unknown, and familiar skills you once relied on are now probably starting to become outgrown and not as useful on your new course. Now, change can make you feel restless, uncertain, or fearful, pushing you off center and struggling with the courage to go forward. Well, the Chariot symbolizes the cosmic warrior who has traveled through many experiences and learned if you have the will and determination to dig deep within you, you will find the well of inner strength to overcome any blocks that hold you back. Now, as this charioteer rides the heavens, she pursues the ever-changing inner and outer realms of life. She holds a sort of metaphorically, a magical wand, being her personal power and spiritual maturity to control and direct how the alchemy she creates unfolds in her life. The chariot symbolizes the self and the direction or path that you are taking. It represents your physical expression as well as your spiritual expression. The chariot's number is 7. 7 is the number, numerologically, of mastery, victory, and initiation. 7 is the number of the seeker and of transformation. The chariot brings change, and change for the better. Change helps you grow, evolve, and transform on many levels. Change brings the opportunity, new life, new reality, new views and perspectives that stretch and deepen your human nature. Change is magical. It opens doors and creates opportunity. How you drive your chariot is a reflection of how you handle life and its oppositions. The chariot is full of movement and opportunities for success. It also gives you quietude and rest so that you are able to listen to your intuition, to your inner voice. She brings you the willpower and the intuition to ride the rocky course of life into victory. When the charioteer enters, she brings you confidence, energy, strength, focus, and maturity to follow through with any endeavor you are pursuing. And if you are experiencing conflict, she brings you the strength, courage, and the drive to overcome your challenge. See your life through the soul of this child, this charioteer. You will discover how to control and use your intuition and your personal power, directing its creative force into success and victory. Because remember, you are the driver of your destiny, nobody else. I think we might have a look at the Wheel of Fortune. Seems to be the obvious one to come after that. This is an interesting picture, isn't it? Here, this wheel is in the form of an Ouroboros, which is a snake eating its own tail, which is a symbol of infinity. It's been tended to by an angel. A griffin, which is like a half lion, a third human, third lion, third bird sort of creature, often found in medieval cathedrals, on the outsides of medieval cathedrals, and a sphinx. And here is a waning moon in the distance there. Now, there are alchemical symbols on these spokes, but you won't be able to see them, so I won't talk about them. Now, the Wheel of Fortune represents the ever-changing cycle in your life. Your life is in constant motion, revolving around the ups and downs life hands you. No moment ever stays the same, does it? Just as you are getting comfortable, the wheel turns and you are moving towards another situations, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. At times, you may think that the wheel is stuck because the bad luck stuff has been visiting way too long. But you have to remember, the Wheel of Fortune is also the karmic wheel of fate. So on the many multi-levels of lifetimes, you may be paying a bigger bill this time around than another. Eventually the wheel does shift though, even in this life. Sometimes you just don't recognize it because you are so wound up in what you think should happen. Do you understand what I mean? The Wheel of Fortune is the game of life. There are no guarantees whatsoever with this game. Now, I heard as a child that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. Well, probably that's debatable. But really, we all get handed to us things that we don't want to have to deal with us from time to time. But the lessons that you learn from your experiences, be they good things, but more particularly what you learn from your mistakes, your failures, your misfortunes, you learn far more from those things than you do from your victories in life. But all are gifts that you take on your spiritual journey. The Wheel of Fortune's number is 10, at X, at Roman numeral X. 10 is the number of completion and rebirth into a new cycle. It symbolizes the gateway to a new journey. Now, it's good to know where you are on the Wheel of Fortune. Are you at the bottom, going up, or are you at the top, ready to cycle on to yet another journey of transition? What you want to remember is that your present actions will affect your life and that of others now and in the future. The Wheel of Fortune spins those actions around, creating your fate. You never know when a good or not so good deed will come around to greet you. The Wheel of Fortune, in a sense, represents cause and effect. One of the lessons of the wheel is to be able to stay in the center of the wheel. No matter what confronts you, if you stay centered, you are able to act from a place of balance than rather from a place of reactionary emotions. When you are centered, or in your hub, you are aware of your strengths and weaknesses, your limits and your boundaries, doing the best that you can with what you've got. Now, you may not be in control of the circumstances around you, but you can be in control of how you deal with them. The Wheel of Fortune is the ever-turning cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Its number is 10, as I say, representing the end or completion of something as well as the beginning of something new. It represents unexpected encounters and twists of fate. But for you, I think that this is very positive at the moment. There are good things in store. Although you never know what is around a corner, the wheel brings gifts of movement, change, good fortune, success, karma, and coming into your destiny. Well, shall we have a look at the card that's on the same horizontal as it, which is calling out to be read, and it is this moon here, which looks absolutely pregnant, doesn't it? This moon looks pregnant. And here is a wolf, a wild, untamed canine, howling at the moon between two pillars. And here is a domesticated dog, the loyal friend of humans, showing both our animal and spiritual nature. And in the back, you probably can't make out, but there's a marsh over here, which has got some wild flowers growing up in it. And I would say that there's the star of, what would that be? That could well, I think that's Neptune that's there. Or it's Venus. No, this is Venus here, and I'll tell you why. Okay, the astrology of the card for me is Neptune in Pisces with Venus exalted. Is it a reality or is it an illusion? Pisces is very much associated with the subconscious, with emotions, with intuition and artistry. And for me, this is the last of the major arcana that I associate with the zodiac sign. Neptune in Pisces. Well, Neptune's watery depths are associated with dreams, visions, and the imagination, which links it in well with the qualities of the moon, I think. I think it's fair to say that the moon is full of mystery and wonderment. Its waxing and waning cycles reflect death and rebirth, fertility, intense dreams, deep sleep, heightened psychic abilities at times, unexpected situations and transformations. Now its cycles reflect the cycles of our spiritual and physical paths in the world of matter. The moon stirs an ancient, mysterious feeling inside of us. Its number is the number 18. That is the number of challenge, of tests, of initiation, intuition, inner strength, and completion. Now, I think what the moon does here is it has and we may come across some, in fact, we may see it here, the moon can intensify any situation for you during this month, which could take you to unexpected realms. The moon is the threshold or gateway to a new and unknown reality also. It is yet another initiation, and its path can be referred to as the dark night of the soul. If you have ever walked outside at night under a full moon without a flashlight and away from any light source, you have experienced the moon's mysterious, illusionary scenery. It is surrealistic. The scenery around you has a different, shadowy cast to it. It takes you out of the ordinary. Don't get lost in its illusions. You have to use your senses and pay attention. You have to trust your intuition and your instincts. The moon represents the gateway to the unknown. It brings you to new and unfamiliar ground, and all the fears and demons that you have carried are now bigger, scarier, and meaner monsters than you had ever experienced or imagined. When the moon calls you to enter the darkness, feelings and emotions can come out of nowhere. Trust your inner divine light. The moon reminds you to go forward without worrying about all the what-ifs. Trust your authentic self and fight the monsters. Light is always brighter than darkness. The moon's guiding light says, "Follow me. Use your inner strength and focus. Trust your intuition and instincts, and you will wake up on the other side of the threshold, liberated." The passage of the moon the passage through the moon's threshold can be tough, but the reward is renewal. Challenging situations can propel you towards transformation. You've earned the rite of passage. The gift of wisdom and love come to you. As the moon reflects all of its energy and light onto you, you in turn reflect the energy of love and light to others. Remember, you are a spiritual being residing in a physical body, experiencing a material life. Your body is a vehicle to spread beauty, love, and goodwill to all around you and to Mother Earth. The moon reflects the sun. You reflect the divine. Well, where shall we go to next? I think things are going to start heating up for you pretty quickly. Here we have, what's this one? What number is that? 5. So you have a lot of association with 5, with Mars, the planet 5 here. With Mars, that aggressive, very aggressive, fiery Mars. Now, this is Saturn in the first decan of Leo. That's the astrology, and it's got the fire of Mars coming in on it as well. Now, Saturn doesn't really get on with Leo, to tell you the truth, because Leo likes to be creative and to express itself and be artistic and be the center of attention and all these sorts of things, whereas Saturn is very much like the schoolmaster or schoolmistress who wants to bring you back on course. People call Saturn the great malefic, if that is saying that it's a bad planet. I personally don't believe it is a bad planet. I don't think there are any bad planets. There can be bad placements, there's no doubt, but the planet per se is not that. It does have aspects to it which are troublesome. However, like any individual, it's complex. There are complexities associated with Saturn, and in this sense, Saturn is kind of cold and dense and restricting, and And it suppresses the creativity of Leo. And then you've got the aggression of Mars coming in as well, even though Mars is a fire planet and Wands is a fire suit. What happens is Saturn comes in and wants to dampen down all this fire energy as well. And so you've got astrological discord. And so you can expect things to go wrong and for there to be some, well, I think some competition really around. But, this Five of Wands can erupt with change, conflict and struggle. But it also brings the opportunity for expansion and renewal. Internally, the fiery energy of Wands ignites a restlessness that doesn't want to be held back. Now, externally, the Five of Wands, creates chaos in different aspects of your life, possibly. And it can signal a challenging, energetic time that can be exciting. Or it could be scary, or it could be confusing, or all of those things all at the same time. Everything seems to be shifting and moving in different directions. The calm, comfortable place you once enjoyed to you might appear to be falling apart. However, the thing to do when this energy comes around, you see both these fives, this five here and this five here, I think are coming here almost as warnings. I think they're coming here to have a conversation with you to expect things. They're not sentencing you to difficulties, but they're saying that should circumstances arrive which could be difficult, you will already know about them, so you'll be able to stand back and detach yourself from it. Right? So I think that the key to this Five of Wands is to hold onto your spiritual center, as your spiritual center has nothing to do with your ego. Your spiritual center embodies your inner personal power, where you can find peace and balance during the chaos of life. Now, the gift of this card is rebirth into a new identity, lifestyle, or path. The Five of Wands brings upheaval within the inner and outer structures of life that do not support your spiritual evolution, I don't think. There is a danger of that happening. The more you fight it, the harder the process will be. The fiery, aggressive wand energy, combined with that of Mars, burns away outdated parts of your psyche and your physical environment to create space for growth and expansion. Internally, the Kundalini, the force, has awakened, shaking things up, ascending upwards to birth a new expression into the intellectual conscious. If you can harness this creative energy, it will awaken new ways of thinking and creating. Now, metaphorically, the physical body is like the eggshell breaking apart as new life emerges. The Five of Wands forces you to stretch and grow, breaking out of your shell, transcending to a higher level of spirituality and living an authentic life. When this Five of Wands appears, as it has done in this situation, you will experience change, probably competition and transition in your life. But you are up to the challenge, and the Five of Wands will generate breakthrough in your lifestyle or in your values or ideals. It forces you to confront and burn away outgrown beliefs and patterns, moving you forward into transformational growth. This energy invites you to participate and test your abilities in life's game of rivalry and competitions. Very often competition with people who have the same looks as you do, the same attractiveness as you do, the same resume as you do, the same experiences that you do, the same thing to offer as you do. You might be competing for the same thing or person. But this powerful energy of Wands will push you to new heights in relationships, career, and certainly in achievements. Look, It may not necessarily always be an easy energy to manage, but if you can, you will empower yourself and your life. Now, I think we mentioned there was another 5 hanging around somewhere. This is the 5 of Swords, which ordinarily I would call a difficult card, but in connection with all these other fantastic cards here, I think that this is not an issue really for you. It just wants to mention what it has to say, just so that you're aware of it. It's almost, the fact is that the energy here can be difficult. It is Saturn again in this card, and this 5 of Swords brings big medicine to the table, and it helps you to confront your demons. Now, what to do with this is to step back from any discord that's going on, from any aggravation, from any drama, from any heartache that's going on. Step back from it and quiet yourself and become aware of your reality. View it without judgment and align with the values of your higher self. Forgive yourself and others. The gift of this 5 of Swords is the strength to move away from conditioned negative thinking and feelings that don't support you, opening you to freedom and peace of mind and peace in your heart. Now, the 5 of Swords brings many levels of negative energy that need to be addressed, cleansed, and healed. Sometimes it can place you in unfortunate circumstances, which can put you in difficult situations. It can sometimes give rise to ugliness in other people or in yourself, in the way that you behave or the way that you speak. But when this 5 of Swords appears, take a deep breath and prepare yourself. The 5 of Swords signals the power struggle between the ego and the heart. Now, defeat on both sides might be occurring or be in danger of occurring, right? Defeat of both the heart and the ego. There's a danger of defeat of both. It might be that communication with others is poor, resulting in conflicts. Relationships can hit the rocky shores of separation. You may be feeling victimized and helpless or projecting those feelings onto somebody else. So this is calling for a reconnection to your higher values and morals of soul self, repairing the bridge between the mind and the heart, taming the ego. It's time to take the steps to begin shifting and cleansing negative energy and opening yourself to healing by looking at who you are and who you are not, because you are constantly creating and recreating your own karma. Fantastic month for you. That's the way it is for you this month. Ah, well, there you go. Beautiful, beautiful images, really, aren't they? Didn't you enjoy that? I certainly enjoyed providing it to you. It's my pleasure and privilege to do so. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. Don't forget the annual reading that's there, as I mentioned. Have a look at that. But in the meantime, remember one thing, and remember it's this, and it is that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.